Good evening and welcome to the Newshour Agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, our top focus today is about what happened in the new parliament yesterday. It's beyond shocking, in fact, as BJP MP Ramesh Bidhuri hurled communal and abusive remarks against another member of parliament during a discussion in the Lok Sabha. The words were so vile that they were expunged by the acting speaker K. Suresh. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh expressed regret in the House. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has warned Bidhuri of strict action if he repeated such behaviour, but the question is, a warning and expunction enough for this behaviour?
मोदी साहब श्रेय क्यों ले रहे हैं? मोदी साहब श्रेय नहीं ले रहे हैं, श्रेय ले रहे हैं देश के वैज्ञानिक। श्रेय ले रहे हैं। कभी खड़ा होगा ये बता रहा हूँ सर, ये जो श्रेय अगर जाता है तो देश के प्रधानमंत्री को जाता है।
जी प्लीज
सर अभी मैं बताना चाहता हूँ, अधीर रंजन जी अभी शोर मचा रहे थे, लिस्ट पढ़ रहे थे। उस लिस्ट में अधीर रंजन जी जब लिस्ट पढ़ रहे थे 1975 से लेकर अभी तक, इसकी बात जी बाहर देखो।
BJP MP Ramesh Bidhuri's offensive remarks against BSP MP Danish Ali have sparked a massive outrage. The opposition has said that an apology is not enough and demanded that Ramesh Bidhuri must be suspended or arrested. BJP has issued a show-cause notice to the MP asking him to explain his unparliamentary language within 15 days. Let's now listen in to what Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who expressed regret over Bidhuri's egregious remarks, had said.
रमेश बिधूड़ी जी बोल रहे थे तो मैं उनकी पूरी बातों को सुन नहीं पाया, लेकिन विपक्ष की बेंच पर बैठे हमारी सम्मानित सदस्यों ने कहा कुछ ऐसी बात उन्होंने कही है जिससे इनकी फीलिंग हर्ट हुई है। तो मैं आपसे विनम्र अनुरोध करूंगा कि रिकॉर्ड में लिखवा लें, ऐसी कोई बात यदि उन्होंने कही है तो रिकॉर्ड से उसे डिलीट कर दिया जाना चाहिए, उसे बाहर कर दिया जाए। एक मिनट प्लीज प्लीज, अरे प्लीज प्लीज, मेरी बात
ऑलरेडी गिव अ रूलिंग दैट वेयर ऑलरेडी डिलीटेड।
यदि कुछ ऐसा उन्होंने कहा है जिससे कि इनकी फीलिंग हर्ट हुई है, उसके लिए मैं खेद व्यक्त करता हूं।
However, the BJP MP's abusive slurs at the BSP MP has given fodder to the opposition, while the Congress reminded the BJP that in the previous session, Lok Sabha leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary was suspended for allegedly insulting ministers, yet no action was being taken for a BJP MP, saying far worse. In fact, Rahul Gandhi and K.C. Venugopal visited Danish Ali late this evening as well. The Aam Aadmi Party has also called it the darkest day in the history of Parliament.
मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कि इस तरह के शब्द इस्तेमाल करना जायज है पार्लियामेंट के अंदर? ये तो एक गली के गुंडे की तरह बात कर रहे हैं वहां पर। और शर्मनाक उससे बड़ी बात यह है कि वहीं पर पीछे बैठकर पूर्व मंत्री हर्षवर्धन जी हंस रहे हैं। तो किस दिशा में हम देश को लेके जा रहे हैं? कहां चले गए अब विश्व गुरु, सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास की बात करने वाले? आज ये गाली जो बीजेपी के सांसद ने दी है, ये सिर्फ दानिश अली को नहीं, पूरे देश के मुसलमानों को इन्होंने ये गाली दी है।
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का अहंकार, असली चेहरा वो कल संसद में सामने आ गया। लेकिन समाजवादी पार्टी भारतीय जनता पार्टी से पूछना चाहती है, क्या यही भारतीय जनता पार्टी का चाल चरित्र, चेहरा और भाषा है?
जो जहर इन्होंने फैलाई है, जो जहर हमारे बीच में घोला है नफरत का, आज वो पार्लियामेंट के नए पार्लियामेंट में गूंज रहा है। शर्मनाक है और मैं मानती हूँ स्पीकर को इस पर जल्द से जल्द कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए।
Meanwhile, speaking to Times Now, Ramesh Bidhuri has said that he hadn't used any unparliamentary words against the BSP MP and it was just an action to a reaction. Meanwhile, Danish Ali has written a letter to the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla asking him to take action against the Member of Parliament Ramesh Bidhuri.
मेरा हौसला बुलंद करने के लिए वो यहाँ आए कि अपने आप को अकेला मत समझिए। इस देश के का हर वो व्यक्ति जो देश के लोकतंत्र में विश्वास रखता है वो आपके साथ खड़ा है। उन्होंने इतना ही कहा कि इसको दिल पे मत लीजिए, अपनी सेहत का ख्याल रखिए। मुझे इस बात का थोड़ा रिलीफ मिला है कि मैं अकेला नहीं खड़ा, पूरा विपक्ष सॉलिडेरिटी मेरे साथ है और मैं अकेला नहीं हूँ। वो जो हमला है वो मेरे ऊपर अकेले के ऊपर नहीं है, वो खाली दानिश अली के ऊपर वो हमला नहीं। वो हमला इस लोकतंत्र पे है।
And for more of this, let's go right across to our guest. Joining us with us is Karan Verma, author. Kailash Adhikari is MD of Governance Now. Subhrashta is founder of The Churn. Also joining us is advocate Kapil Madan, political analyst. Puhazh Gandhi, spokesperson of the DMK. Asif Suhail is a political analyst joining us on the broadcast. Let me start with you first and foremost, Karan Verma. You know, the language used is absolutely inappropriate, unparliamentary, and perhaps derogatory. Many would even categorize it as a communal slur. But what the question is being posed at this point of time by opposition parties is that we've seen several opposition MPs suspended for raising issues such as Manipur. Sanjay Singh says that in this particular case, apart from a notice being sent and a warning, notice sent from the party, a warning sent by the Speaker's office, why has action not happened close to 24 hours later?
No, I think, Madhav, in fact, action has happened, and what he's done is absolutely condemnable. I mean, there can be no excuse for what Ramesh Bidhuri has spoken. It's abominable, and it should be condemned across the spectrum. Union Minister Rajnath Singh has expressed regret. A show cause notice has been sent. Even Mr. Om Birla has said that it will be looked into. So I'm glad at least action is happening right away. And Madhav, let's not, equate this with others. Of course, let's look at it in isolation. This is horrible, this is abominable, but so are so many things said by others which should also be criticized as uniformly as today people across all ecosystems are criticizing. We saw what happened, what Udayanidhi Stalin said about Sanatan Dharma, what Karti Chidambaram said, what Priyank Khadge said. Did we see the same kind of outrage? I am absolutely all for action against Ramesh Bidhuri, but so am I for action against all these individuals who've made it a point to target a religion. Why was the ecosystem silent then? Why is it then freedom of speech and now it is hate speech? So
well,
this
Karan
kind
Verma,
of double
I will only say
standards
this,
should not
that
happen.
when it happens inside the parliament of the country, it is a parliament that represents all of us as citizens of the country. It is about demeaning an institution, and there is no comparison with what happens inside parliament to statements made outside. However, since you have made the point, let me put that question across to Puhazh Gandhi. Puhazh Gandhi, you can't distinguish between hate speech and hate speech. For instance, what action was taken for that particular hate speech on Mr. Stalin, Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin, is a question that Karan Verma is asking. He says that it's fine and one should demand action against Mr. Bidhuri. But what about those who spread hate against the Hindu religion?
See, it's a complete joke to say that what Udayanidhi has spoken is a hate speech. We never retracted from our position. We still maintain the position that we are against Sanatan Dharma. That is not a hate speech, because we are seeing Sanatan Dharma as a caste imbalance or the stratification of Hindu followers on the basis of birth. And the DMK and the Dravidian movement is fighting for the rights of that particular Hindus as against the Sanatanamadis. This is our position. From day one, this will continue. We haven't issued any notice to Udayanidhi, or we haven't issued any notice to A. Raja, or we are not going to take any action. We are with them. Let's be very clear.
But sir, Mr. Raja said that Hinduism is a disease on the world. Leave alone your nuanced argument of Sanatan Dharma. He is on record saying that, isn't he?
No, Madhav, what Mr. Raja said is, Raja was quoting Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who said, Hinduism in its current form, the caste discrimination in the Hinduism is a menace to the whole world. Today, even just a couple of hours back, RSS is banned in Canada. I don't know whether you're aware of that. This is the menace which these guys are spreading. And we are against this particular menace, and we'll continue to fight. And don't equate with what happened in the parliament today.
But that's the problem, sir. Sir, see, I can understand. One second, Mr. Puhazh Gandhi, you can have a problem with Hindutva. You can have a problem with those who believe in the Hindutva ideology. You can have a problem against the caste system. But when you are taking out such blanket statements against Hinduism, you're equating the religion with only negativity and negative points. You're not celebrating or looking at the positivity and the immense contributions that this entire religion has.
Okay, Madhav, you are misquoting Hinduism. Let us be very clear. 90% of the people who are in DMK are Hindus, practicing Hindus. Let us be very clear on that. Only 5% of the DMKs are atheists. But here the issue is different. We are against Sanatana Dharma. We are not equating Sanatana Dharma with Hinduism. That is our position. Let us understand the whole thing. And don't please equate the statement of Udayanidhi with what has happened today, because what has happened today is nothing but an absolute onslaught on the constitution, absolute onslaught on the secularism, and it is BJP which does not have any ideology except hate. Either they have hate for Muslims, either they have hate for Christians, or for Dalits, or for OBCs.
Okay, let me bring in Shubh Rashtra on that
ideology, only hate.
Okay, let me bring in Shubh Rashtra. Shubh Rashtra, it's an ideology of hate that is being practiced by the BJP. This is a charge that has been made by several other opposition leaders today following this remark. Please respond to the statement being made by Puhazh Gandhi.
Look, Madhav, I'm not going to be drawn into this political slugfest where what is being said about the BJP and what is BJP retorting to that. My simple, plain submission on this issue is exactly what Karan said. I would just go on to add that, Ramesh Bidhuri is an MP. So somebody in the panel just said that how can it be used inside the parliament? Well, parliament is a reflection of the kind of leaders we sent to the parliament. So of course, this is also a matter of reflection for the constituents of the constituency that Ramesh Bidhuri represents. Let me also tell you the kind of work that Ramesh Bidhuri has done and his family has done over the years with respect to Sanatan and with respect to the RSS, the organizational work that has been done, has been lauded by his constituents, and he has been sent to the parliament. That is not to take away the fact that the language used today was horrifying, abominable. It should not only be condemned, action should be taken, and I'm glad that action has been taken. And I would go back to what Karan said. Have we not heard insults, slurs, and open calls to behead somebody in this very country not very long ago, just because the sentiments echoed by a particular individual sort of riled up the person and the community so much that they went ahead and issued death threats? Did you see a similar kind of outrage? And why should we not equate? You said, Madhav, that we should not equate what happened inside the parliament to what outside. Why should we not equate it?
I'll tell you why. Because it's one second. Shubh Rashtra. Yeah, Shubh Rashtra, let me come in because I said this simply because the parliament reflects us as a country. It's an institution that best describes the country. At the end of the day, it's not just one party's MP. It is the entire parliament that gets defamed and the entire nation as a consequence of it. So please let us understand. I'm not in any way justifying any hate speech. I'm not saying that anyone XYZ from any political party who makes any particular hate speech is in any way justified. Any leader worth his salt should refrain from appealing or making any communal or hate speeches. But having said that, this particular remark certainly causes so much of outrage because it's made inside the parliament. Surely there is a difference, Shubh Rashtra, in that sense, in terms of what a person says inside the house.
I agree with you. And as I said, there's no justification for the kind of remarks that has been, that was made. Let us also remember that when the records of these speeches are made, there are certain remarks which are expunged. For example, when Rahul Gandhi made those statements with respect to Adani, those were expunged from the Lok Sabha. Well, the opposition made it a freedom of speech issue. Tomorrow, some people from the community within our nation can start saying that it is trampling freedom of speech, however abusive the language was.
Okay.
So let us not go down that route. Let us see what all can be done.
Okay.
I think action has been taken.
Okay.
If people feel that more action and stricter action should be taken, so be it. But let us not assume that this is the first time in this country that something of this magnitude has happened.
Okay,
we have
let me bring in
worse, and we have emerged from the worst.
Okay, let me come in. Now, Asif Sohail, you heard Shubh Rashtra. She says that in this particular case, certainly, of course, these comments are abominable, but we've seen members of parliament, for instance, come out and demand beheadings. All sorts of comments have come in the past. And these have happened from parliamentarians, no less. Certainly, in that light, no hate speech, of course, justifies the other by any mile or any stretch of imagination. But certainly, this is a much larger problem. What have parties like AMM, for instance, taken action against its own members who have made these kind of hate speeches in the past?
Sir, BJP MP Ramesh Bidhuri is a student of Nagpur University. What better we can expect from him? देखिए, उनकी एक तारीख है criticizing the parliamentarian. Earlier also female parliamentarians के ऊपर भी उन्होंने कई remarks दिए थे. Even earlier with Sonia Gandhi and many things. See, they have learned what they have been preached, they are practicing. गलत नहीं है, जो उनकी नागपुर यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ाया जा रहा है उन्हें, they are preaching what they are practicing here. But see, it's a temple of democracy. एक तो मुल्क के पूरे दुनिया के सामने he has brought a shame. इतनी बड़ी जगह पर बैठकर, ठीक है, it's a temple of secularism, temple of democracy, brought in a shame on us. So the Madam Prege, let me I am not interfering in what you are saying. Let me finish it off. Now, see, now the BJP has to take a call. अभी इनको सस्पेंड करे जो हमेशा जगह अभी तक ये
You can respond to him. Subhrashta, you can respond to him. Just let him make his point. 30 seconds, make your point, sir. Yes, go ahead.
Sure.
सर वही बोल रहा हूँ ना, when राहुल गांधी का जब उनका जो कन्विक्शन है within 24 hours he has been removed from the parliament, and why इतनी बड़ी जो बात की है, see, I'm ashamed of saying what the MP has Mr. Ramesh has said to the Mr. Other MP. So now it's not about what he has said. All the parliamentarians should take a stand because they belong to the temple of democracy and he should be suspended from the parliament. Immediately उन्हें निकालना चाहिए. अगर नहीं निकालेंगे तो ये तो बताएंगे कि नागपुर यूनिवर्सिटी में यही बीजेपी के लोगों को यही पढ़ाया जाता है और वही लोगों के साथ आके प्रैक्टिस करते हैं. तो इसके अंदर अगर नहीं होगा तो यही बात रहेगी.
Okay. Since there are a number of questions being raised, in Nagpur question coming, before I go across to Kailash, I want Shubhrashta to respond to this question. He is saying that this is the mindset, and this is a question that even Moitra in fact tweeted earlier about, that this is, abusing Muslims as part of BJP culture is exactly what she has tweeted. But let me also ask you, Shubhrashta, you can respond to that, but this is the repeat offender point. One second, please. I'm coming to all of you one by one. I cannot go to everyone at the same time, and there are several who have not yet spoken. But Shubhrashta, this is a person who in 2014 made some unparliamentary remarks. Venkaiah Naidu, just as Rajnath Singh has done today, expressed regret at that point of time. In 2015, women MPs accused him of using abusive language. So he is a repeat offender, Shubhrashta. It is not the first time that such an offence is happening.
Yes, I agree with you, Madhav. I'm not here to defend Ramesh Bidhuri. Please, let me put the record straight right here. But to call him a student of Nagpur University when he's a product of Delhi University, to say that this is the kind of
language that was metaphorical. Mr. Sohail, now you are interrupting her. This is not done. Let her make a point now.
One can go on to... No, if you don't have better arguments, at least don't factually misrepresent somebody. What you said, Madhav, is absolutely correct. There are so many factual remarks that can be made against Ramesh Bidhuri. And I agree with you. But the problem is that
Mr. Sohail, please.
In our country,
Mr. Sohail, please, you have spoken now. Please.
They come from, do we as a society, have we as a society handed over an SOP or a do's and don'ts list to our netas?
Right.
Is Ramesh Bidhuri the only neta in this country with foul language? Let me show you, if I start running clips of what Lalu Prasad Yadav has spoken in the past for women, forget about women MPs. Do you remember the kind of language he used against an ex-journalist when she was out there to interview him?
No,
what are we talking about?
One second.
Today in the panel, some of us are behaving as if, oh my God, such language has never been a part of Indian politics. Please
certainly, the political discourse today is perhaps the lowest yet. Let me say that this kind of language is a new low for Parliament, and certainly for a new Parliament, this is certainly not what we expected. But let me bring in one second, please, gentlemen, please allow me to, and ladies, allow me to conduct this debate. There are others who want to come in now, and let me ask Kapil Madan a simple question. Kapil Madan, you heard several of the panelists. They believe that the comments being made by certain DMK leaders, they are saying it is a hate speech. The DMK says it is not. But the point is, when you see the entire India collective not pass a resolution condemning this statement, and it's fine to condemn the mindset of Bidhuri, but then is there a collective failure to condemn these kind of statements also coming in is a question they are asking. Kapil.
No, Madhav, I will not take even a moment to give a second thought about it, that what Mr. Bidhuri said was completely outrageous, racist, and it should be condemned with the strictest of words. There cannot be any second doubt about it. I heard Subhrashtra very patiently.
And Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin?
So just a minute. I'll respond, Madhav. Please allow me. You never interrupted the other panelists. I will respond to Mr.
I'm just asking you what my question was, but go ahead. No.
I will answer. Now, Subhrashtra here said Mr. Bidhuri represent the, his constituency, and this kind of foul language is not new in our, political system. So we have Karan here, and I'm quite sure that Mr. Bidhuri comes from, Karan's constituency, and I know Karan personally, and I would say on his behalf that this certainly cannot be the, sentiments of, people whom, have people of South Delhi who have elected Mr. Bidhuri. This can't be the answer. Now, another point, Subhrashtra not very surprisingly said that this kind of a language is not new, because we saw Subhrashtra also earlier using this kind of a language. So I think for her it could be a normal practice. That's the reason why she wants to trivialize.
Where did you see me use that kind of language? Which debate?
There is you deny.
Which formal setting?
There are your own.
Which formal setting?
Your tweets where you were using abusing language, you deny.
Which formal setting did I use a language?
No.
Please stop abusing me. Please stop trolling me.
Okay. I don't. One second.
Engage with me.
Let's not.
Fashion.
No.
I'm requesting both of you. Let's not take the debate. Let's not take the seriousness of this debate away. Let's not take the seriousness.
From the school that I went to, and from the society that I have been raised in.
All right, Kapil Madan.
Respond to the perpetrator in the language that they deserve.
All right, I think both of you have made your points very clear. Let's move on, please. Let's move on.
Respectfully, I would be super
Let's move on, because this is not about individuals on the panel. It is not about individuals on the panel, please. We are discussing a member of parliament. I'm requesting all of you, please. Kapil Madan and Subhrashtra, I'm requesting both of you for 1 minute, and let me bring in Kailash Adhikari.
He can talk whatever he wants to.
Yes, he has, and you have clarified. Let me come in now. I'm going to lower all faders, because this is not the subject of discussion. It's a very, very serious subject. We cannot have this tutu meme between panelists, because this is not about personal issues between the two of you, or even statements that have been made by any one individual. We are talking about conduct of our members in parliament. And the reason I'm saying this is that Kailash Adhikari, the Prime Minister, appealed that in Amrit Kal, a new parliament is being inaugurated. He played the role of a statesman, did not take any political jibes. He rose above politics at this very important session, and he appealed to all to leave past acrimony behind. Now, who is breaching this request of the Prime Minister, according to you?
Madhav, our parliament is a temple of our democracy. And what Mr. Bidhuri's remarks and comments have come, they're totally condemnable. And naturally, action must be taken against him. And I just like to state one thing here, that those who feel that no action has been taken, they are completely wrong. The party which he belongs to has issued him a show cause notice, asking him why he should not be removed from the party, not trying to giving him an opportunity to explain himself, asking directly him that why he should not be directly removed from the party. The entire comments have been removed from the course of action of the Lok Sabha. Apart from that, the speaker has issued him a warning. So naturally, the entire comments made by him are totally condemnable, and it does not suit any parliamentarian. We must realize that we are in the election year, in the coming year 2024, and to no parliamentarian across any political party, such kind of remarks can be made. Firstly, that. Secondly, we must also know that, Madhav, at this point of time, that the opposition is trying to showcase that only the Bharatiya Janata Party has an habit of making such communal remarks. We know how the members of the other political parties have spoken against the Hindu Dharma, and also what kind of derogatory language have they used against the Honorable Prime Minister, be it Manishankar Iyer or other members of the political party. Time and again, they have derogated the office of the Honorable Prime Minister of India without knowing the fact that he is their Prime Minister also.
All right, we'll have to leave it there, gentlemen and ladies, because we're completely out of time on this debate. A very, very unfortunate episode, an episode where swift action has to be taken, exemplary action has to be taken, because we cannot have members of parliament in today's day and age making such openly provocative comments. And who knows, these are the people who we elect. They're supposed to be representatives, they're supposed to be idols, they're supposed to be speeches which are emulated, actions which are emulated by others. But far from it. This is the unfortunate state of affairs, that we have to actually debate this, because our parliament is unfortunately sullied by these kind of actions and statements. And we certainly hope that better sense prevails on all sides. It doesn't matter which political party. At the end of the day, it is our parliament. We expect our leaders to do far better than this. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this evening.
News Hour first. We'll be right back after the break.
What's new? What's breaking? What's the story? Answer these questions and you make a good news morning. From what's in news to what stays in news. We stay committed to tell you all. We remain focused so you remain sharp. Enrich your mornings with the newness of news. The Morning News Hour.
Explosive, exclusive and beyond.
The show that gets you the inside track.
A deep dive into stories that matter.
Raising questions you won't ask.
Your voice is now our voice. Watch Blueprint with me, Meghna.
And Pranesh.
At 6:30 p.m. every weekday.
Only on Times Now.
News should be up to your expectations. News should be reliable. News should be experience-based. News should be balanced. And news should definitely be factual and accurate. I, Madhav, get you the news straight, loaded with facts, because there's nothing more important to me than to get it right. I bring news that you can trust, because Times Now and its viewers expect nothing less. Watch Nation Wants to Know with me, Madhav.
Truth isn't very complicated. Only agendas make it obfuscated. So avoid the whataboutery, stay away from the lazy analysis. Because you get the truth when you are upfront. For the intelligent, incisive Indian. India Upfront with me, Padmaja Joshi, weeknights 8 p.m. only on Times Now.
When journalism is led by integrity, and when experience meets passion, there is no scope for half-truths. When the noise drowns out the truth, and many lose sight of what is the real issue.
I ask the legitimate question and uncover the whole truth.
Don't tax the poor people who are using petrol, diesel to go to work or to send their children to school.
I give you the complete picture in black and white, not a colored opinion, facts that help you form your opinion.
The News Hour at 9. Weeknights at 9, only on Times Now.
Journalism is a mission, not just to seek accountability or a fight for justice, but for honesty and integrity. Voicing citizens' concerns and using the truth to demand answers, ensuring that you come first on agenda. Watch Newshour Agenda with me, Madhav, weeknights at 10 o'clock only on Times Now.
She asks tough questions like no other journalist.
तमाम तरह के बयान आते हैं तो लोग आजकल alliances पर बहुत फोकस कर रहे हैं. आपकी alliance कैसी? Do you think these issues or the breach on freedom of expression and creative freedoms that are coming are a challenge for people like you?
She takes on the masters of Indian politics like no one else can.
What do you think about the Patna meeting? You know, the opposition unity. अभी के दौर में जो कांग्रेस एक क्रॉसरोड्स पर खड़ी नजर आती है, आपको इसका अंदेशा पहले से था?
Because she speaks for you the way no one else can.
Do you think it's time for the Uniform Civil Code to come in? I mean, it's been 75 years.
Because your voice must be heard, your questions answered above all else. Frankly Speaking with Navika Kumar.
Prime time isn't just about debates.
It's about knowing the news.
We give you facts
with context and without bias.
The long
and short
of what made the headlines.
Factual and forthright on News Now overnight.
When news is troubling.
They rented this house right here and 3 days later she was murdered.
When news is for common man.
We are asking you for the Aam Aadmi that why the proper checks and balances were not done, sir.
When news is for nation.
Right now, I'm just few meters away from Pakistani force which is acting as launch pads for terrorists.
When news is exclusive.
We are reporting from few miles away from the line of factual control.
We report from ground zero. Times now. Action begins here.
You're watching the News Hour first.
Canadian rapper Shubh has faced actions and repercussions that we would have never imagined. Shows cancelled, sponsors backed out and posters ripped off, and a series of unfollows by famous personalities. The action followed after his controversial social media post in March, where he posted a distorted India map. Days after his shows was cancelled, Shubh is now playing the victim card and issued a clarification. But he's continued to remain defiant. Listen in to his social media post.
As a young rapper-singer hailing from Punjab, India, it was my life's dream to put my music on an international dais. But the recent happenings have tumbled my hard work and progress, and I wanted to say a few words to express my dismay and sorrow. My intent in resharing that post on my story was only to pray for Punjab, as there were reports of electricity and internet shutdowns throughout the state. There was no other thought behind it, and I definitely didn't intend to hurt anyone's sentiments.
Under fire, but Shubh refuses to apologize for hurting sentiments with his post. However, he said that the post was unintentional and was only to pray for Punjab. Remember, the controversy began in March this year when Shubh shared a distorted map of India on his Instagram story, omitting the regions of Punjab, Jammu Kashmir and parts of Northeast as well. He's also posted the caption, "Pray for Punjab." Now, this post was widely condemned in India, with many people accusing Shubh of being a Khalistan sympathizer. Despite the backlash and social media outrage, now we've seen Congress come out and back the singer. The leader of the Congress party in Punjab, Amrinder Singh Raja Wading, has backed the Punjab rapper and said that he need not apologize for the map. Party leaders have also said that artists have no freedom under the ruling dispensation led by the Modi government.
That the singer, that the 25, 26 years old boy, he's doing a show here. I don't know why this Yuva Morcha BJP Sangathan protest against him. People want to see that show. My children want to see Shubh singer. They are telling me that, Papa, we want to see that show. And all of a sudden somebody said ki bhai, that all the programs are cancelled. And the singer, he clarified on his Twitter account, he said, I'm Indian. I love India. I'm a Punjabi. I'm proud to be a Punjabi. So I don't think so that Shubh should apologize about any map.
यही तो इसीलिए तो इंडिया बना है, बोलने की, अभिव्यक्ति की स्वतंत्रता नहीं, सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रमों तक की स्वतंत्रता नहीं, इसीलिए तो इंडिया का गठन हुआ है। कोई गीतकार, कोई संगीतकार, कोई कवि, कोई लेखक, कोई पत्रकार आज उसके अभिव्यक्ति अधिकार नहीं रह गए। इसीलिए मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि ये आतंकवाद रोके सरकार।
शुभ जी, young and budding artist. The level at which this controversy has gone, it's very painful. His show has been cancelled. Earlier, his posters, they were targeted. So, Government of India should also take care of this. Okay, why this is happening? Why such actions are taking that without giving him an opportunity to explain?
BJP has lambasted Congress for Khalistan appeasement and questioned the Congress party. Why was it backing India beaters?
मुझे लगता है कि भारतवर्ष में जो रहने वाले लोग हैं, भारतीयता और राष्ट्रीयता, ये हमारा एक सबसे बड़ा मतलब हमारा चाहे राजनीतिक हो किसी दल का हो, उससे हट करके नाम शुभ है, काम अशुभ करेगा, देश के खिलाफ बोलेगा और देश को तोड़ने की बात करेगा, जम्मू कश्मीर हटा देना चाहिए, हिंदुस्तान नक्शा बनना चाहिए, ऐसे लोग समर्थन करते, चुल्लू भर पानी में डूब मरना चाहिए उन राजनीतिक पार्टियों को।
कांग्रेस पार्टी के नेता राहुल गांधी तो खुद ही दुनिया भर में भारत विरोधी बातें करते घूमते हैं, तो उनकी पार्टी के लोगों से क्या ही उम्मीद करें। कांग्रेस का तो मूल ही मंत्र है कि जो भी देश का गद्दार है वो कांग्रेस का यार है। कैनेडियन सिंगर शुभ के खालिस्तान समर्थन का प्रमाण उसने खुद सोशल मीडिया पर दिया था, जिसको सभी ने देखा है, तो उससे देश देशभक्ति का प्रमाण पत्र देने वाले पर धिक्कार है।
And for more on this, let's go right across to our guest. Joining us with us is RP Singh, spokesperson of the BJP. Prabodh Singh is a political analyst joining us on the broadcast. Also, we have with us Ginni Sani, who's leader of the Congress party. With us also is Maheshinder Singh Grewal, vice president and spokesperson of the Shiromani Akali Dal. Let me start with you first and foremost, Ginni Sani. सवाल ये है गिनी सानी की इस वक्त ऑनलाइन ऑफलाइन काफी आउटरीच है इस पूरे पोस्टर को लेके। शुभ ने अपनी क्लैरिफिकेशन जरूर दी है, लेकिन बात यह भी है कि कई सारे एडवर्टाइजर्स ने, स्पॉन्सर्स ने अगर कैंसिलेशन दी है, और ये सरकार की ओर से स्पॉन्सर्ड नहीं है, ये काफी ऑर्गेनिकली नेचुरली ऑनलाइन हो रहा है ये सारा, तो इस पे आप क्या कहेंगे कि क्या देयर इज नो रीजन फॉर पीपल टू बी आउटरीच टुडे?
देखिए सर, शुभ ने जो काम किया, जो उन्होंने एक ऐसा नक्शा, आपको पता है, एक ऐसी फोटो शेयर करी जो किसी भी तरीके से भारत के संविधान के हिसाब से एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है। जो आदमी अपने पोस्टर और बैनर में कश्मीर और पंजाब को भारत के नक्शे से अलग कर दे, उसका समर्थन हम कैसे कर सकते हैं? तो सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि सर, शुभ का बायकॉट अगर हो रहा है तो वो उसकी अपनी गलतियों की वजह से हो रहा है। आज उसके शो कैंसिल हो रहे हैं, उसकी गलतियों की वजह से हो रहे हैं। आज कांग्रेस पार्टी किसी भी तरीके से शुभ के इस एक्टिविटीज का समर्थन नहीं करती। हम भारत के नागरिक हैं, हम भारत का समर्थन करते हैं। कोई भी एक ऐसा इंसान जो भारत से पंजाब को काट के अलग कर दे, कश्मीर को काट के अलग कर दे, उसका कोई भी भारतीय समर्थन नहीं कर सकता।
सर, राजा वड़िंग समर्थन कर रहे हैं कि सर प्रमोद तिवारी समर्थन कर रहे हैं,
आज से
ये क्यों समर्थन दे रहे हैं? फिर पंजाब के चीफ है राजा वड़िंग, वो समर्थन दे रहे हैं। प्रमोद तिवारी जो है लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन, डेप्यूटी लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन है राज्यसभा में, वो क्यों सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं? फिर
सर, सपोर्ट किसी ने ये नहीं बोला कि हम शुभ के साथ जाके खड़े हैं। आप मुझे एक ऐसा किसी बंदे को बोलो, उन्होंने ये बात बोली है कि हम अपने देश के साथ खड़े हैं। अगर शुभ ने कुछ गलत किया
सर, वो कह रहे हैं कि अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी है, कलाकारों को की आवाज को दबाया जा रहा है, ये कहा जा रहा है सर आज के डेट में।
मैं आपसे यही तो कहना चाह रहा हूं ना सर, हम किसी भी तरीके से हम ये तो नहीं कह रहे ना कि हम शुभ के साथ खड़े हैं। आज उस बंदे का पर्सनल बयान है, उस पर्सनल बयान के ऊपर उसके अपने विचार है। अगर आज की डेट में कोई आदमी कहता है कि भैया मैं खालिस्तान के साथ खड़ा हूं, या कोई आदमी कहता है मैं हिंदू राष्ट्र के साथ खड़ा हूं, तो क्या हम उसकी जबान को सील सकते हैं? हम उसे रोक सकते हैं? हर आदमी की आजादी की, आप स्वतंत्रता सबको जब संविधान देता है, तो जो उसके मन में आएगा वो करेगा।
ओके,
भारत सरकार को देखना पड़ेगा ना कि किस
आपके आर्गुमेंट्स काफी कॉन्ट्रडिक्टरी हैं इस वक्त, लेकिन मैं जा रहा हूं आरपी सिंह के पास। आरपी सिंह, the point being made is this, I think Mr. Ginni Sani hasn't properly seen his leader Amrinder Raja Wading's statement, because Amrinder Raja Wading says that don't brand everyone as Khalistanis. He said that this person, this individual, there may be issues with his music or whatever it may be, but the point that he's making is that don't brand everyone as someone who is a separatist in this particular case, and that's what the BJP is unfortunately doing, is his charge. How do you respond to this? RP Singh.
Well, from Captain Amrinder Singh to Amrinder Raja, that's the difference. Amrinder Wading, for that regard, that's the difference between what has happened between the Congress. And that's the journey which Congress has travelled from person who stood against Khalistan, who gave list of the Khalistanis to Justin Trudeau, and then stood against Justin Trudeau, and then spoke to him face to face and said nothing doing. And today there's a party president of the Congress party who is supporting Khalistanis. The spokesperson is saying कि कोई खालिस्तान के बारे में बोलेगा हम कैसे रोक लेंगे? सर, जो आप वो रोकने की बात कर रहे हैं,
let's temper our language. No violence, no call to violence. RP Singh, no call to violence. We are all proud of our nation. No, we are all proud of our nation. We cannot, no, please sir, not on national television. RP Singh, no, please take back that statement. You cannot, no sir, please.
Allow me a second, allow me to
do not say words like this. Do not say words like this that are going to provoke people. Please take back that statement.
Allow me to complete. Please allow Madhav, allow me to complete. When I say not physically, he'll be taken to task as per law. I'm not going to go and do it physically. Someone's going to do physically. We have law enough to take care of such people. They'll be sent behind Bahar.
You will silence them is what you're saying, sir, but that's a very poor choice of words, Mr. R.P. Singh. That is not acceptable on a national debate. You are saying that, let's phrase it that way. But let me bring in other panelists now. Let me bring in Maheshwar Singh Garewal. Maheshwar Singh Garewal, you know, there is a problem with this person's music. One is...
Would you allow this?
Yes.
Who would allow this to...
That is not acceptable. That is the premise. That is the premise of the debate. That is the premise of the debate. And let me bring in Maheshwar Singh Garewal. Maheshwar Singh Garewal, he may have clarified once, he may have clarified twice. But the fact is, I am R.P. Singh. R.P. Singh, please calm down. Maheshwar Singh Garewal. At the end of the day, Jammu Kashmir is not shown part of the map. Punjab is completely darkened. Northeast is not even there in the map. Here is a person who may have said that, okay, I made a mistake, I was apologizing, but that's a time when Amritpal Singh was on the run. And here is a person whose music is replete with references to gun culture and violence. Is this the kind of icon for the youth we want for the country? Maheshwar Singh Garewal.
I tell you one thing, this sad part of story is that anything a man with turban says, he's termed as an anti-national and a terrorist.
No, sir, that is very unfortunate.
Please allow me. You have
this is a very this is a very unfortunate statement, sir. Please, let's not say this.
Just
not on national television, please.
Just listen to me. I have not used any unparliamentary word.
Okay. R.P. Singh, let him say what he wants to say. But see, I will just appeal. One second. I will just appeal to everyone. One second. Let me just come in. We have limited time. Mr. Garewal, I'll just take 10 seconds. I will appeal to everyone. Let's be a little calm today. This may be a very emotive issue. There are very serious issues over hand, but we are all responsible citizens of the country end of the day. So let's be a little responsible in our commentary, please. My appeal to all of you. Mr. Garewal.
I agree with you. I am asking this gentleman known as Mr. R.P. Singh. Their senior party leaders were laughing when that MP was abusing a Muslim MP of BSP. You see the picture of Lok Sabha, former Health Minister of India was sitting on the back seat was laughing. Are they nationalists? If they just shut down the minorities, I tell you they are playing dirty politics which Indira played in 1985. Please, I request them, don't create any walls between the communities. Let them live as a brothers peacefully. Don't, for your cheap gains of votes, don't disturb the peace of Punjab. Punjab is losing every day their martyrs on the border. Who lost Colonel Manpreet Singh? Who lost Colonel Manpreet Singh?
No.
Tell me, count anybody. And I tell you, R.P. Singh, just listen to me.
I am asking you to first say then go ahead with the debate.
The day cremation of Colonel Manpreet Singh and Major was being done, and they were celebrating Chandrayaan in the BJP office.
Okay, we've veered off the topic. We have completely veered off the topic. Sir, Mr. Garewal, please. Mr. Garewal, we are completely off the topic. We were supposed to discuss Shubh. We are discussing a topic that we just spent half an hour discussing. But nevertheless, since you've asked the question of R.P. Singh, before I go across to, in fact, Prabodh Singh, R.P. Singh, quick response, please, to what Mr. Garewal has said.
I'm taking back my word of cutting down the tongue of the person who takes the name of Khalistan. But
I'm very glad.
Again, as per law, he will be prosecuted. No one can be allowed to break this country on name of religion. And people who have dream of Khalistan shouldn't seek Khalistan in Lahore, not in India, or in Toronto, or in Ottawa, not in India at all. So let's be very clear on this, because these are the people who somehow, in their heart and mind, support such elements. There's the problem.
One at a time, please, gentlemen. Gentlemen, please. Let's not do this. Ma'am, simple sawal. I'm going to go across to Prabodh Singh. Now I'm going to shut down everyone else's mic. Prabodh Singh, the point being made here is this. The point being made by the Congress party and others is that certainly do not make statements which could provoke an entire community. And at the end of the day, let me just quote what Shubh says. Shubh says that India is my country. It's the land of my gurus, my ancestors. He also goes on to say that Punjabis don't need to give proof of patriotism. We have given sacrifices for the nation. And in fact, do not name every Punjabi as anti-national. Is there a point that is being made over here? And is there any truth in what is being stated by Raja Vading as well as Shubh?
See, Madhav, these are completely different things. What Shubh is saying right now, that Punjabis do not need a certificate of patriotism, is one thing. Nobody is challenging that. But another thing is that the map of India was shown in a distorted manner. And Raja Vading Saab, the chief of Punjab Congress, if you listen to what he said any map WAP. India's map is not any map WAP. So these are two different issues. Issue number one is that we need to take India's map seriously. India's map, nobody has the right to distort it. Not in India, not anywhere else. So that is a separate issue. The second issue is about artistic freedom and expression. Artistic freedom and expression cannot step over our sovereignty. It cannot distort India's map in the name of artistic expression. Okay, you don't want to ban his shows, you don't ban his shows. But that man should come up and apologize for showing India's map in a distorted manner. That hasn't happened. So these are completely different issues. We cannot coin them together. The statement issued by Shubh right now that, Sikhs, gurus, they played a great role in India. Everything is right.
Yes. Let me bring in Mr. Grewal on that. Let me bring in, because we're almost out of time. 30 seconds, Mr. Grewal. Shubh hasn't properly apologized. He may have clarified his comments, but that's not an apology. And that's a very grave difference for somebody who's actually played around with the map of India. Remember, these are also sentiments that are very strong. End of the day, we're talking about the sovereignty of India. Can such an act be condoned? Mr. Grewal.
I tell you, nobody will support acting against the sovereignty of country. We are part of country and we always fought for its sovereignty, its independence and defending its border. The man has clarified that it is not his intention, nor he meant any disrespect to the integrity of the country. Why making a point out of it? I think much worse things have been said by the ruling party.
Sir, any comment against a nation, against another religion is unacceptable. Let me say it there. Let me make a blanket statement for all, and this rule should apply to all political parties. Sena Council has to prevail, particularly at a time when there is not just a diplomatic issue, but also at a time when there are those from foreign soil trying to perpetuate violence here in India. And that's something that all Indians, whichever state they may belong to, whichever religious persuasion they may believe in, must and surely think about. I'd like to thank all of you gentlemen for joining us this evening on the second debate on Newshour Agenda.